introduction. Mr. County Executive, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be back here in Baltimore County, my home for 12 years. I'm Wallace and Martin Marietta. And I'm delighted to celebrate this day with you because you've achieved a lot. But I want to take you somewhere else. I want to take you forward. I want to take this event today and what you have achieved and springboard you forward to the next great thing for Baltimore County, and Maryland, and the nation. As a zeroth generation American, I'm the guy that came over on the boat. My daughter is the first generation, but I'm the zeroth generation. I strongly believe and worked for the last 25 years in the Department of Defense to make America stronger. And I think one of our challenges today is to make America economically stronger. And we are going to do that. I have no doubt in my mind. I'm convinced, I'm committed, and we're going to do it. And we're going to do it because we are good, because we have innovation, and we're doers. We're not talkers. I mean, I don't want to just talk, although you will see me evangelizing all over the country on this issue of manufacturing. I have been quoted recently in the magazine saying that we're not going to get rich selling hamburgers to each other. And I hope that the capital industry doesn't come after me. But we're not. We're going to create wealth by creating wealth, by making things. And manufacturing, I'm committed, is one of those areas that is key to the economic and national security of the United States. We can't afford our national defense without good manufacturing. We can't build the airplanes and ships and everything that we do. So, where do we go from here? And what do I want you to do? And join with us, the Department of Energy and the greater USG, United States government, to make America great manufacturing. Let me start off, and I do this perhaps not to you, but to the people that don't know about manufacturing. What is manufacturing? When we talk about manufacturing, what do we really mean? And you can look it up in lots of different places. I particularly like this particular definition. And the reason I like it because it finishes with the phrase, parts into finished goods that meet a customer's expectations or specifications. What that implies is a sense of quality. We have to make good quality. We have to make things that people want to buy. It is no good, even if we're from the Department of Energy, for us to make things efficiently if nobody wants to buy them. That's not good. First, we have to make things that people want to buy. So we're committed here to do this, to have good quality products made well and made efficiently. Now, people say that manufacturing in the United States is dead and we should forget about it. Not true. The United States is still one of the largest manufacturing economy in the world. We've lost ground, no question. The graphs and the data clearly shows it. China is expanding, as you can see, at the manufacturing level, and it's approaching us. We're even parity right now. We still make the best airplanes in the world. We still make the best high technologies, and our products are the best in the world. What we need to do, we need to change that trend. And we need to all be in a partnership to do that. And it is really important, even though manufacturing is really only 11% of our economy, it accounts for 57% of the exports. This is where we're globally competitive. We're good at this game, and we're going to even be better. And we should never give up on this. Absolutely not. And we know that the high quality jobs are really, although we've lost them, and you've seen the tremendous damage that we've seen in that area, we're coming back. And I just want you to understand and also to realize that 60% of the US engineering and science professionals that we have in the country work in manufacturing. This is the bottom, the deep, deep, dark bottom of which we're getting out of. If I show you this to let you know that in 2011, every state in the union, all 50 states, had massive losses in manufacturing. You all know that. But that was the bottom. We're going up. Even this month's job gains, which were not which were very disappointing. There were 12,000 new manufacturing jobs in the United States. I just came from Detroit in a plant which was idled in 2008, ready to be demolished, and today has 3,200 people working and produces one car every 42 seconds. That's certainly my own house. So we're coming back. This is the bottom. We're going to get better. We're going to get much better. And why are we going to get better? Because we are good at learning. So let me share with you what I want you to think about and give you some historical perspectives, and then try to get us to think forward and spring forward into advanced manufacturing. New materials in manufacturing can change the world, and they have. They have repeatedly. So let me show you a quote from the New York Times, published on October 9, 1903. Some time ago, about 100 years ago, right? The machine which will really fly might be evolved from 1 million to 10 million years. That's what the New York Times said. The same day, Orville Wright said, we started assembly today. So don't believe everything you read in the newspaper. Don't believe that manufacturing is dead when people tell you that. It's not true. And this is a good way to show it. I now work in Washington, D.C., and when you visit, you come down there and go up to the Washington Monument, what you will find is, at the top of the Washington Monument, there is a large aluminum casting. You say, why is that? And the reason was that at the time when the monument was built, aluminum was a precious metal. Aluminum at the time was selling for $1 an ounce, and gold was $20 an ounce. Aluminum was more expensive than silver at the time. The highest skilled craftsman working on that monument was paid $2 a day. Okay? And aluminum was $1 an ounce, not a pound, an ounce. Okay? And then what is aluminum today? Aluminum today, roughly speaking, is 6 cents an ounce. Gold is, God knows what it is. Right? Why is that? What happened? Well, there was a new process that came along, right? A new extractive process that changed the way, and that process changed the world. That process spawned a company that we know as Alcoa today. 100 years of a profitable company on average, Fortune 100 or better. But beyond that company itself, think about what aluminum has enabled us to do. It's not just the company that makes the aluminum, it's the product. Aluminum aircraft, 737s today, Boeing Aircraft Company is the largest company that exported in the United States. They make 37 737s a month, more than one a day. And you know what? They're selling them mostly overseas. Okay? They're made mostly overseas. So that process changed, that manufacturing process changed the world. Let's look at another one. In 1898, somebody said the fixation of nitrogen is vital to the progress of civilized humanity. Have you heard some of these words before? And what was the problem? The problem was ammonia. And you know where ammonia came from? Ammonia came from Chile those days, from bird dung. That's where it came from. Why was that a critical material? Because it was the precursor to gunpowder and to fertilizer. Without that, you couldn't grow crops, you didn't have gunpowder. Bird dung, right? And a process, the Haber-Bosch process came along that created ammonia, and ammonia today is a fraction of a cent per pound, right? A process, a manufacturing process changed the world. So, you say to yourself, now, what are the opportunities of our time? That's 100 years ago. What are we going to do? Those were our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers and so on. What are we going to do? What are you and I and our team? What is the challenge of our time? Well, there may be something like additive manufacturing. You've heard about it, but think about the idea of now, think about a color printer. Think about all those beautiful brochures you have in front of you. 20 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago, color printing was not as common as it is. What if we could make anything we could imagine? This particular hand, it's hard to see, but it's made, it's 3D printed in a machine. It's got internal structures, it's got tubes inside it and everything. The only way it could be made is made out of titanium, right? Think about machining something out of a block of titanium. It's impossible. You cannot do it with internal structures. It is the way that we're going to take on the Chinese. It's the way we're going to take mass customization, mass production, and we're going to win by mass customization. If you can design it, you can print it. This particular part here, it's made out of, actually it turns out also titanium, and it's made in a certain way because it has to be milled in a way. But if you can print it, you get the same strength, half the weight. And things that we sell overseas and are good at could make. So what we need to do is adopt and take on these challenges of making things the new way. The new manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, is energy efficient. By the way, the energy efficiency of making something like this or something like this is 90%. We use 10% of the energy because we don't have to make a block of titanium, we don't have to machine it, and we don't have to recycle the scrap and so on. The energy savings are huge. So we have any number of challenges in front of us. Let me give you another one. This is the 787. This is a composite aircraft today. The fuselage of this aircraft is a composite aircraft. The problem with this aircraft, though, however, for us, in the United States, US Inc., is that the biggest autoclaves, there's a man there, the biggest autoclaves in the world are not in the United States. They're in Japan, and turns out that in Italy actually are Libya. So where does Boeing buy the biggest parts for the fuselage? From overseas. They're assembled in Seattle, Washington, but they made. So the question is, how can we compete in that? How can we come up with the money? Cost of capital is so huge. You guys know that it's so high. Well, what if we could make those things outside the autoclave? And we demonstrated before I came to DOE at DARPA. We made a 68-foot wing, and you can't really see the detail, but it has all the structure inside and everything. We made it out of the autoclave, aerospace quality. Now, all those people that have this expensive equipment, I don't care, let them have it. Innovation, advanced manufacturing, we get together, we decide what we're going to do, we focus, and we do it. And that's really the key. So it demonstrates significant energy savings in manufacturing. Imagine heating all of this stuff up and the tooling inside, as opposed to doing it in an open area. So, we know these things are out there. We know that our universities and our colleges and innovation, it's all out there. We need to bring it together. What should our strategy be? Our strategy really is to focus on the industrial sector. And what we're doing in the Department of Energy right here is to take these innovations and we want to demonstrate new energy efficient processes and materials in industry. We want industry. We want you to be the drivers. This is not about the National Science Foundation, wonderful institution, National Institute of Health, ONR, DARPA, whatever. This is about making things. We want to focus on making things. We have all, and you may not realize this, but you all own some superb facilities in the national labs. Electron microscope, neutron beam lines. You didn't know you had this stuff, but you paid for it on April the 15th. Those machines and that fancy equipment doesn't belong to the labs. It belongs to you and me. It belongs to all of us. It's ours. But far too often in the past, what we have done is to make those investments for just a few, for the scientists. But now is the time to make it for the engineers, for us that make things. Okay? This is the culture change that has happened in the government in the last few years. And the president, I can tell you, when I was going to say a little bit about the State of the Union address, we had something to do with that. And every time my staff, every time he mentioned the word manufacturing, they would cheer. We were actually at a bar, and it was great. And you know what? Later on, when we went down to Virginia to Cross Point to talk about the institutes, he went completely off script. We gave him just a little brief to go, but then he stopped reading, they stopped that and he asked questions. And he went on and talked about manufacturing completely off script. Jason looked at me and said, "What is he doing?" And I said, "I don't know," but he believes it. So we're working really hard all the way from the secretary to myself. And you shouldn't look at me as a person, as a single individual. Anything, everyone, the assistant secretary, the secretary of defense, the secretary of energy, Dr. Stephen Chu, and the president, all the way up, believe in manufacturing. So I'm really representative of those. And I want you to understand that I'm interested in production relevant scale. I'm not interested in things happening in test tubes. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in making things happen. Those are the important things that we need to invest in. And I want two things from you. I want you to think about products that you develop and processes that you develop in the industrial sector, because you constitute 30% of the energy utilization in the country. Okay? I want you to have products for efficient manufacturing. Better process controls, better lighting, better heating, better cooling, whatever you do. I want you to do all of them. But I also want you to have products for energy efficient use. I want you to make the lightweight composites, the lightweight materials, to be competitive, to sell overseas. It's all about GDP. It's all about being competitive. I'd rather we have 50% of the world's pie than nothing at all. Right? We don't have to have it all, but I'd rather have 50% than zero. And that's what we're good. We can compete, and we can win. And every time we've taken on a challenge, we've won. And let me go back. So how do we go about doing that? So let me sort of I want to spend a little bit of about time with this, because it really sets the stage. There is a presidential initiative on advanced manufacturing. And then we've established this group called the Advanced Manufacturing Partnership, and it was led by Andrew Leveris, who's the president of CEO of Dow Chemicals, and Susan Hockfield, who's the president of MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And in that forum, we've established that a successful, and you know this, but I'll share it with you because it's important and there's representation here from all of this. Technology is not enough. I can show you all the whiz-bang stuff, and you know and I know that's not enough. What is really important is facilities and infrastructure, having the infrastructure for us to work, having the network so that the supply chain and so on, and access to facilities that are perhaps not available, education and training. And Mr. President, this is critical. We need in community colleges, universities, schools, everything, all of our, and retraining opportunities. I have a PhD, but I was in all of the guys in our theaters here when I was here, a little machine shop that we used to go to. I would take them a little sketch of what I wanted to do. It wasn't even a blueprint. It wasn't a drawing. It was a sketch. And what would come out was an engineering marvel, smoothly running and everything else. Those people did it all through their heads. Most of them certainly didn't have college education, and I wonder if they had even finished high school. Okay? But they knew how to use milling machines and lathes and stuff like that, and they were smart and had imagination. Now those people who perhaps have a job right, I don't want to put those people out of jobs. What I want to do is to take that expertise and that knowledge and teach them to use an additive manufacturing machine. So this additive manufacturing machine, this 3D printer, this whatever you want to call it, and there's multiples of them, just like the lathe machines and milling machines. Many people make them. Okay? I wanted to have that as part of their toolkit in a machine shop, because they can take something and make it. And that way, The value is in the knowledge, is not in the part. They don't have to make tools. So I want to see retraining as well as training of people. I want all of you that are manufacturers to go to schools, to go to the third graders either, to the sixth graders, I don't know, and invite them for half a day in your machine shop. Show them in your manufacturing. Show them what you do. Get them. They don't know, our kids don't know anything except video games. And they don't even know how those video games work. What makes them good. They probably don't understand with wireless technology how it works. But get them involved. At the Oak Ridge National Lab, we had an additive manufacturing day, and we had schools, the local schools, they came and they built parts for their robots. Great, they learned design, we sat them in front of computers, they learned what, and then they took the design, fed it into the additive manufacturing machine, and they made parts. I think even if I think we got 90% of them insist about engineering, but if we could get 10% of them, it would be a win, right? We want these people, our kids and our young people to do that, and we want our experienced people, our machinists that work in the shops, to teach them about the importance of manufacturing, like delivering on time, delivering good products that people want to buy. That ethos exists and it's existing, and I don't want it to get lost. I want it to be transferred to our new folks. So we need technology, facilities, education and training, and there are policy questions, and I don't deal with policy. Tax policy is somebody else's profession, but that's important too. And the team here has decided, has recommended action in all of those. And my focus in the energy efficiency or renewable energy domain of the Department of Energy is manufacturing in the US, GDP and employment enhancement, energy efficiency, and reduction in energy costs. So we're going to be making investments in projects, in demonstration facilities for all of us. I want to have a facility where you could go, for example, there would be 50, or maybe not that many, 10 different additive manufacturing machines by different manufacturers. And you go in there and you try them all and see which one works for you. And then at the end of your product, at the end of that interaction with that facility, what you should have is not some demo, but a business plan. You should have something that says, this machine gives me this yield with this quality. You need the information that you need to go and get the money to make the investment. It's no good having a demo, I made a little widget. You want what you need to know is the information about the knowledge that goes with that. You need to say that this material, this demo, this particular component can be made most efficiently with this machine, with this kind of yield, and if I sell it, I'll make a profit, right? That's what I want you to do. I want you to be profitable. If you're profitable, you pay taxes, I get paid, so that's important to me, okay? That's really the key here. The key here is there is nothing like productivity. There's nothing like selling things that people want to buy. Now, if you're a small or medium-sized company, maybe you don't have access to electron microscopes and other evaluation drugs. Maybe you don't know which machine to buy. But what if there were a place where you could go and try it? And what if you're a manufacturer of these machines? You could put your machine in this place, and you have lots of people trying it out. And you could price it out of the rich if you wanted to. It's your call, it's your business. We're not going to tell you what to do. But it's a place where these facilities, these user facilities, it's a commons where the people that want to that bring the equipment are there, the people that want to use them are there, and the right relationships come out. But maybe not. Maybe the outcome is, hey, this process doesn't work for me, I'm going to go back to casting or forging or whatever. That's fine. You have the data. You're not about to make an investment in a machine to find out if it's right. And I think that's really important for us to facilitate, and that's what we're doing with these manufacturing demonstration facilities. And it's my hope that out of my office you will see an announcement pretty soon to establish 4 more of these facilities in various domains. I'm not going to tell you which ones there are. I think I have a list here. And finally, in my office, what you will see is that one of the things we established as part of the working group was this National Institute for Manufacturing. And this is Mike spoke of this, it's a $1 billion investment the president has proposed for FY13. It's an election year, I don't know how things will go, but no matter what happens to that, my budget and our involvement in developing, in promoting these manufacturing demonstration facilities will continue, and it's with appropriated funds, and we have the money to do that, and we're going to go forward and do it. So, these 4 to 6 demonstration facility will be showing up pretty soon, I hope. So you ask me, well, none of us, including the Department of Energy, certainly in my office, we have enough money to do everything that we would like. And we cannot do everything. It's a reality of life. But we're going to look for things that are transformative, that result in significant life cycle impact, that creates value in multiple supply chains, such as that of the manufacturing, that are globally competitive. I mean, we want you to sell this. I'm sorry, I forgot to whom I was talking. Talk to me a little bit about selling to Abu Dhabi. Why not? Absolutely, everybody, everywhere. Make it here and sell it over there, rather than make it over there and have it sell it. Make it here. We can do it. We can really do it, and we can do that better quality. And we want to do it in a clean energy industry because it's the way that we have to do it, because it's profitable, it saves, energy costs are huge, as you all know, and it's good for our planet. And I have some other things here, but I wanted to tell you that I don't want you to just think incrementally, because I took this picture out of a book, a gentleman that I think very highly of. The book was Out of the Fiery Furnace, and he had to do about metallurgy. I'm a metallurgy person. And he found this picture from an Aborigine, an Aborigine who was still making things the way they used to make it in those days. And if you look to the right, that's a forging, and you say, what is really different? We have bigger machines, and we have bigger hydraulics, and maybe they're even computer control. But it's really no different, right? I mean, we're still beating hot metal around. But the additive manufacturing, what does it do? It puts the metal where you want it to do, and only heats that part. It doesn't do the whole thing, there's no waste. We need to think along those lines. I want you to think along those lines. Where can your business change the way you do things to change the total? And so what are the things that we think about? The most important item here is the last one. It's called other. And you know why I said other? Because I want you to tell me what it should be. You would be arrogant of me, absolutely outrageously arrogant, if sitting in a Forrester building inside Washington, D.C., I could tell you that I know where you need in manufacturing, where you're competitive. That would be completely arrogant, and I'm not going to do that. Okay? What I want you to do is just say, why should the United States invest in this technology? How is it going to spawn an ecosystem that's going to make us global competitive? No idea is a bad idea. We won't be able to accept all ideas, but this is a partnership. We need to work together. There's some things that the federal government can do, and some things that it cannot. There's some things that the state government and the county government can do, and some things that they cannot do. But the vast majority of things that need to be done come from the manufacturers. The manufacturers and the industry, you need to reach out to us and to the schools and tell them this is what we need to be competitive. That communication is important. I hope you get, if I can leave you with one message, if nothing else, that we're listening to what manufacturers have to say. This is your time. In the 90s, I guess it was the internet. So everybody was listening to them. In 10 years ago, it was the housing people, the mortgage people, now is our time. Manufacturing has finally risen to the top. So unless we participate, unless we take action ourselves, those that are interested in manufacturing, and get our voices heard, it's not going to happen. And I can tell you that there is a whole lot of people that are interested in this. And last time, we had an announcement out from about ideas for innovative manufacturing, and I'm going to stop a little bit in just a minute. The last time we put an announcement out for the so-called Innovative Manufacturing Initiative, we received 1,400 proposals from all states, again, including Alaska and Hawaii, manufacturing, and Maryland, we received 95 ideas from Maryland. On innovative manufacturing, that's all we asked for. We didn't ask for new stuff, just innovative manufacturing. So their ideas are out there. We just need to understand and take calculus. We can't do them all, we'll do some. And let me just say this also. We have great ideas and we're committed, but I don't know anybody on this earth who hasn't made a mistake. And I suspect we will too. Okay? So we will make the investments to the best of our ability, to the best data that we have one time. Will they all work out? No. I am sure they will not all work out. But at least we made them for the right reasons. Okay? It's no different than investing your 401k or whatever. You know, you do the best decisions as you can at the time, and sometimes you win and sometimes you lose some. And that's the way it is. And we're human too. We're going to make some mistakes. So we're going to do the best we can to invest in those technologies that will have the most pervasive impact. And my goal is, and I want to finish with this chart. What are the national and regional strengths to be exploited? As you look around your own community here in Baltimore County and the surrounding area in Maryland and Delaware, in the Mid-Atlantic area, what are the regional strengths that you want to see exploited that the federal government can help to push you over the tipping point so that something which is not quite there can be made? What about the small guys? What about the small guys that the little machines with the 20, the 10 people? We want them to participate. The federal government is very good at working with the big guys, the Lockheeds, the Boeings, and so on. How do we engage the movement? We engage them through organizations like this. That's why I'm here, and that's why I was delighted when Mike invited me to come over here. Not only because it's Baltimore County, but because it's regional. Okay? And finally, my question is, how do we engage the whole industrial ecosystem? I want to see USA Inc. succeed. How do we all work together to make it? We don't have the answer to those ideas. We can have policies, we can talk, but unless you participate and tell us what you need, because we're going to win this war one order at a time, one shipping order at a time, and one job at a time, right? At the end of the day, the part has to go out, somebody has to do it, you have to make a decision. Every one of you counts on this. So we want to hear from you what we need to do. And in some cases, you may just tell us, get out of the way. And that's okay too. I don't mind that. So with that, thank you for indulging me. It's a great pleasure to be here. I wish I could stay with the whole day. I unfortunately have another commitment and I really need to go. But Mike did get a hold of me, and to the degree that I can help, either coming at schools and colleges to talk to the universities, I'm willing to do that. And to the degree that any of you that feel that you can gain some benefit from an interaction with us, perhaps or whatever, I'll be glad to help anywhere.